We are back on Morning Line. Shifting gears, we have a guest in-house. You heard me talking about her, and here she is, just like that, Sue Ford White, with our kids. We see her every time this time of year. Sometimes we see her throughout the year for different important topics, but this is leading up to the fantastic Our Kids fundraiser, which is back in full force, I understand, this year.
Yes, we are so excited to be back at Nissan Stadium, Club Level West. This is the 29th annual Our Kids Soup Sunday, and presented by Ford and title sponsor Ford and presented by U.S. Foods.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll say, folks, to me, there's a lot of wonderful charitable gatherings and organizations that come together. Our Kids is one of the best, and we'll tell you about that. But there's not a more unique event for a fundraiser that I've ever been a part of, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I will again this year, than this, and it raises money for a fantastic cause. Remind folks again, if you would, what Our Kids does.
Yes, Our Kids, this is our 35th anniversary year. Our Kids provides medical forensic evaluations and crisis counseling in response to concerns of child sexual abuse.
Okay.
We serve 47 counties in Middle Tennessee. We have nurse practitioners and social workers that are on call 24/7. We've always been trauma informed, and it's just the most special place in the world.
Yeah, and so important. You work pretty much close hand in hand oftentimes in cases with law enforcement in terms of trying to help get these kids to a place where they can move forward with a case. Is that not part of it?
That's exactly right, Nick. We work very closely with law enforcement, with the Department of Children's Services, with the Child Advocacy Centers, with the assistant DAs, all throughout Middle Tennessee. So our work and the extent to which we collaborate with all of those entities, it's like a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, and every year, and it's horrible, I wish Our Kids wasn't needed.
I know.
Meaning, I wish we didn't have this, but every year I imagine you're involved with dozens and dozens of children.
So really every year we serve approximately 800 children, which makes Our Kids one of the largest clinics of our kind in the country.
Yep.
We also conduct and publish research that informs this entire field. It's really quite amazing.
Yeah, one of the leaders in this field of what it is you do. I'm sure other models have been done around the country based on what you guys have done here.
Yes, well, I think that we're quite unique because we do have the multidisciplinary approach. I mean, so because an appointment at Our Kids is not a 20-minute medical transaction,
right,
Nick. It's really an intense encounter that lasts between an hour and a half and sometimes 4 hours, depending on the last sexual contact, the type of sexual contact, and also what else is going on in the family. One of the things that we know, 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 7 boys will be sexually abused before age 18. And Nick, that is really underreported because based on the caregivers that come to our clinic, that they themselves for the first time are disclosing the sexual abuse that they experience as children. And what they say is, I've never felt this safe before. I've never told anybody. And so while it's devastating, what we say to that caregiver is, look at what you're doing right. You are believing and protecting your child. You've brought your child to Our Kids.
Yeah.
And even though this is a devastating and traumatic issue, once the child and family come to us, we do a full assessment. It's always something else going on as well, right? And these families need encouragement. They need, they just need so much support. And when the child comes to us, the abuse stops. The abuse, the betrayal, and the exploitation stop.
Yeah. And hopefully the healing then can start, as well as the prosecution of whoever was responsible for that. So that takes money, and it takes time.
It does take money.
You're a nonprofit.
We are.
And you depend on donations from the public. I imagine, do you get some funds from other organizations as well?
Well, thank you for prompting me. You always bring out the best in me.
Because great minds think alike.
So first of all, I need to say that we are proud to be an outpatient clinic of Nashville General Hospital. So we get a lot of support from from them, but we're also a 501c3 with our own board of directors. So this fundraiser is really important to us.
You have several throughout the year, though, don't you? I mean,
Yes,
we've
we
done
do.
the run, the fun run.
Yes. Hammer Down.
The
yes.
Hammer Down, which is a big deal, but this is the
running that.
I do. It's always
You scrappy
I just
thing.
remember how freezing cold it was sometimes. But I run the 5K, but the Soup Sunday is the biggie, isn't it? Is
Yes.
that you have a lot, and they're all worthwhile, but that's the biggie.
Okay, it's the biggest one in terms of outreach. Community outreach is so important to us.
Yeah.
And I don't really like puns. You probably love puns.
I do.
But you know, this is our Super Bowl.
Oh, God, I like it.
Because you know, this is like, you know, with all the support from News Channel 5, all the support from Lightning 100, we really try to get the word out about sexual abuse and about our kids.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important.
That's where people really get a handle on it, because you get such a large crowd. And so, look, I want to make sure we cover all our bases before we get to the end of the show. So, Soup Sunday is back in full force. It's going to be where you can attend it, tickets. Let's talk about it. Of course, it's over at Nissan Stadium, which is awesome.
Club Level West. It's just beautiful.
The greatest location, because
It's
you're
beautiful.
there. You can look back on the city. It's usually a beautiful Sunday. It's warm enough inside. It's all indoors.
Yes, it's all indoors. We have approximately 30 restaurants signed up right now to
30 right now.
participate, and we are. I'm really, really thankful. As I said, our title sponsor is Ford. Our presenting sponsor is U.S. Foods, and our some of our platinum terrain sponsors are Rick French, Lightning 100, Mitsui USA Foundation, and Twice Daily.
Great.
And we have these wonderful judges. Some of the other thing that's really important is, you know, at the beginning of this event, there's lots of waste and stuff, and so in the last several years we have partnered with the compost company, so all of the bowls and all the sampler cups and all of that they're either the trays. It's either compostable,
composted or biodegradable,
or recyclable.
Okay.
So we're being good to Mother Earth.
I think that's great.
And we have wonderful judges. Many of them are culinary experts, like Andrew Little with Josephine, Kristen Berenson with Henley, Khalil Arnold with Arnold's Country Kitchen, Delilah Joe Ramsey with Eater Nashville, and of course Philip Fryman with Southern Fatty.
Yeah, see, they know their stuff.
They do. And then we have two new judges, Chad Newton and Gracie Wynn with Eastside Banh Mi.
Okay.
So, you know,
Yeah, so the judges, now let's just let people know what this event is. It's basically, you buy the tickets, and we'll say where you can get it, but you go, and those 30, and you may have more by the time it comes around, of restaurants all serve up each an individual soup, and you get your trays and your cups, and you can go and sample 30 different just gourmet type soups, and you guys have it set up so well. There's water everywhere, there's even some dessert things, there's crackers, so you can clear your palate, you can vote on your favorite, and then you can buy some soup at the end of the day, right?
Yes, at the end of the event, if there's soup available, we do sell quarts.
Yeah.
The other two judges, Lieutenant Dan with Lightning 100 and Trevor Turndrup with Moon Taxi.
He's a good fella. They've both been doing it for a while. He's
and
really
you're
great.
our MC.
And I'll be the MC hanging out. I'm going to be wearing my chef's hat, and I'll be wearing tie-dye. So this is going to be... I like tie-dye because when I spill soup, you can't see it.
You are so cunning.
I know. We're going to have a good time.
You.
And I always like seeing Sue running around because she's talking to everyone. I mean, the mayor's going to be there and all these other movers and shakers. But it's not just that. Anyone can come.
Yes.
Just buy the tickets.
Go to ourkidscenter.com. The tickets are $25 for an adult and $5 for a child, but under 3 are free. We have all of these wonderful activities for children, and balloon artists and caricatures, and they're Disney. They're going to be Disney characters walking around and some mascots. It's going to be so much fun.
Will there be a silent auction again or not?
Well, there won't be, and the reason why is because we really want to space people out more, just to be a little bit more careful and safe. So we needed that space for more tables and more seating. And just a scoop on our Vice Mayor, Jim Schulman.
I already see him there.
He is meticulous in how he moves through all the restaurants and all the sampling, and he's got it down to a science.
It's funny because he comes on this show every month with us, and if there's good food involved, Jim Schulman's there. I always see him, and he enjoys it. And there are people that, you know, I always come and I try to make my way through between the MC things, and I always miss some of the stations. But some people, they're darn serious. And you wait in the line, you make your way through, you get your cups, you load it, you go back, and they make sure they try each and every one of them.
Yes.
And there are so many, the soups you've never even imagined, and oh, they're so good. It's just a perfect winter thing too. It's chilly, and you're having soup.
Do I have time to say something about the winners from last year?
2 minutes.
Okay, so for most creative last year, Sambuca won with acorn sweet potato.
Yep.
And then judge's choice was Little Fib with celery root and apple velouté.
This is fancy.
Very fancy.
Fancy. You'll have some bisques, and you'll have basic chicken noodle, and they're all really good.
Oh, it's so good.
And okay, so again, people can go to get tickets right now online, did you say?
Yes, ourkidscenter.com.
Okay, and I will post this on my Facebook page, which goes out to 200,000 people. We'll promote it in the morning show as well. Because keep in mind, the $25 as you see there, you're going to be well fed, but every cent of that money moves toward our kids. And you heard her talk about, it's just a great thing to give that. But you'll really, trust me, I promise you, you will enjoy yourself. It's a unique experience.
It's so much fun.
Do you sometimes, you cap it too, so it's not so jammed you can't move around. Once the tickets, they sell out, and if they sell out,
they're selling out, and we've capped it to a lower, because we're only going to allow 1,000 people in the space.
Because of COVID, to play it safe.
Yes, and
right.
that includes the restaurant people and our volunteers who are so fabulous.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a sense of urgency, because
apparently
once
online
they're
they're scalping the tickets for about $300 a pop.
You are so wild.
Just kidding, but you never
you.
know with something like that. Sue, you're awesome, and I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. And she brought me a soup
Look at
mug.
that.
These are among the items you'll be able to buy at the event as well, right? Or
Yes.
hand out part of it.
Yes.
That, and then you can buy your soup to take home with you. Anyway,
Yes.
trust me, you will enjoy yourself, and it's going to a great cause. Come up and say hi to both of us when we'll be out there that day. Okay?
Okay, here's the deal.
Yeah.
You help this community be more courageous.
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Well, thank you. I tried to. Well, birds of a feather. How about that? Thank you for coming on this morning, and promise you, we'll promote the heck out of it this next week. You got to let me know when it sells out, so I stop promoting.
I promise I will.
Okay, let's sell it out.
Let's sell it. Come on.
It's always good seeing you. All right, we'll take a break. I'll be back and wrap things up with a programming note right after this.